Okay, cool. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Leah, and as I introduced before, I'm ProtoPie teacher. Yeah, and so I'm here to help you to become ProtoPie expert. And today we will quickly cover a little about ProtoPie. So what is ProtoPie? So maybe some of you guys haven't used it before or haven't heard it before. So we'll give a quick introduction, and then we will introduce our class support program. So that's why you guys can use ProtoPie with free team plan, right? And then we will take more time to learn how to use ProtoPie. Um, Before that, let me know, is there anyone have tried ProtoPie before?
No, I guess
Oh,
we just
oh,
explored.
perfect. Yeah, because today we
Yes,
really,
I did.
you did?
Try. Yeah,
Which feature you used? Variable or formula?
mainly for the high fidelity animation.
Really? Or maybe, okay, so after this workshop, if you have any questions, you can ask, what's your name? Li Xin?
Galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because today we will only cover really basic things. Okay, let's start. So first, let's introduce ProtoPie. So our founder is a Korean oppa. Have you heard oppa? So that's how we called a Korean man. And he was a designer in Google, and he had some pain point to express his ideas to developers or his team. So we think a lot of designers, they have same pain point. So that's why we developed the ProtoPie to help you. You don't need to write any line of code, but you can also can make interactive prototype easily. And this is a design process. A lot of designers, they ask us, when should I use ProtoPie? Or why I should choose ProtoPie instead of other prototyping tools. So now I want to show you this design process. Of course, is very basic one, and in different teams, they have a different design process. And in this basic process, we think we position ProtoPie as a high fidelity prototyping tool. So that's why we don't have a lot of graphic design features in ProtoPie, but you can still use your XD or Sketch or Figma, and then import your static layers into ProtoPie, and then add interactions immediately. So ProtoPie, currently, we only focus on the interaction part. And after that, you can use, we have components, shareable components and libraries. So use that features, so you can make your design system. And also you can share your code. No, actually it's not a code, it's like a spec of your design. And so we call this, it's kind of handoff features, but in ProtoPie, we call this recipe, interaction recipe, because we think developers, they are will cook your design ideas. So that's why the handoff, we call this recipe. Okay, so in the high fidelity prototype, this market area, there are several tools. They can also make high fidelity interactions. So what's the difference between them and ProtoPie is, first, ProtoPie is very easy to learn. You don't need to learn any code, but you can still make high fidelity interactions. And also we support Mac and OS, with Mac and Windows OS. And also we support, you can make your 2 fingers or 5 fingers, those multi-finger gestures, and you can use your sound, camera, or tilt, or keyboard, those sensors. We also support that. And also you can make interactions across devices. For example, your phone and your smart TV, or your phone with your smart car. So no matter it's hardware or software, ProtoPie also support the interactions. those kinds of interactions. And currently, there are already a ton of designers are using ProtoPie. And this next demo, I want to show you how the real designers, how they use ProtoPie. So here is a demo made by Eduardo, and he is a designer in Microsoft. So here, as you can see, is a prototype, and this window is our preview window. And as you can see here, this interaction, this prototype, actually, if you only see the preview window, this part is hard to distinguish is a real prototype or just a prototype. So this one is showing how the high fidelity prototype you can make with ProtoPie. And 1 month ago, we had a competition in Dribble. So we got a lot of good demos from this competition. And so very interesting one is the middle one. One user used our tool to make another prototyping tool. So actually here is not a real tool, it's just a prototype. The whole thing made in ProtoPie. So this is very, very interesting demo. So if you want to know more what ProtoPie can do for you, you can click this link and go to our Dribble page. There you can find the whole our Pi file, I mean the source, so you can download and check how they make each demo in ProtoPie. Okay, so because most of your guys are still studying in university, so that's why we want to support teachers and schools. So that's why we have a class support program. So we want to help you guys. You don't need to feel stress for I have to pay or something else. We just give you for free. And you can, we have 3 plans. And for you guys, for this class support program, we give the team plan. So a lot of collaboration features you can also use. And as long as you are still studying in university, you can use this team plan every year for free. And currently, there are a lot of universities are using ProtoPie with this class support program. Okay, so I know you guys already using this team plan, this class support program, but maybe if this recording will maybe share with other schools. So if other schools, they haven't used this program, please go to this link. Okay, now let's start our workshop. Today, before we learn how to use ProtoPie, we need to know how to, we have 3 parts. ProtoPie has 3 parts. One is studio, one's player, another one is cloud. So in the studio, you can make interactions. So add interaction pieces, and also you can, this part is you should install in your desktop. It's not like Figma, it's not online platform. You need to, you can use it offline and install it in your desktop. And as I mentioned before, we support Figma, Sketch, and Adobe XD import. After you finish prototype, you can test on your real devices. So to make that happen, you need to install another application. We call this ProtoPie Player, and we support Apple and Android. Yeah, and then you can save your prototype to your phone. So even you don't have your desktop, you can just bring your phone and show demos to your users or your professor. And the last part is we call this ProtoPie Cloud. So you can also upload your Pi file to the ProtoPie Cloud, and then you will get a link. So you can share this link with your team or with your professor or with your, or maybe when you're doing let's say a recruiting or interview or competition, you can also share that link. And on the ProtoPie cloud, you can leave a comment. So yeah, your professor can give you some feedback or your classmate. And also we can, as we said, we have a shareable component or handle features. So those features, the whole features relate to collaboration. We put it on the ProtoPie cloud. Okay, so that's the basic knowledge about ProtoPie. And now what we will learn is, first one is conceptual model. And then we will use this conceptual model to make some basic interactions. And then we will learn some basic features like typing, camera, and scroll paging. And we have more advanced features like condition or formula and variables, but those part we won't cover today because today is beginner workshop, but I still will show some demo to you. Okay, so first one is our conception model. ProtoPie is very easy, and we said you don't need to write any code. But why you don't need to write any code, but still can make hi-fi interactions? I think the reason why is because we have a very unique conception model. We believe any interactions could be made with objects, triggers, and responses. So what that means, let me use example to explain for you. So in this case, this dog, this dog is object, and the trigger is this baby will touch this dog, and then this dog will jump. So this is response. So actually in this world, the interaction is not only for the design, the whole interactions in this world, you can say they have triggers, objects, and responses. So based on this concept model, and in ProtoPie, we give you some basic triggers and the responses. And for you as a designer, you just need to combine triggers and responses and make interactions. It's kind of Lego, right? You have a ton of Lego pieces, and after you combine them, you can make a robot or you can make a car. So in ProtoPie, it's kind of like that. So that's why our users, they always say, oh, ProtoPie like a design, how to say, player. I can play with ProtoPie. Not I use ProtoPie for work, but I enjoy using ProtoPie. So in ProtoPie, let's say you have a idea in your head, like the left side, there are layer, and when your two fingers pinch it, you want the size of this layer wanna change. So what you need to do in ProtoPie, you just need to add a trigger, pinch trigger, and then add a response. We have a response called scale, and then assign this layer to pinch and scale. So of course, let's say you have two layers, and when you pinch one layer, you want another layer's size changed. So you can just assign second layer to scale. So object, trigger, and response, that's how they work with each other. And now I would like to open my ProtoPie and give you a live demo. So this is a ProtoPie interface. As most design tools, it have toolbars, right? And a layer panel, paging, and here is a property panel. The only different part is this one. We call it interaction panel. So here, what I want to do is when I tap this rectangle layer, then I want this circle move to the top. So in this case, first, I need to think which triggers I need to use. So click this add trigger, and then you will find the whole triggers ProtoPie support currently. So we have tap, or long tap, or pinch, rotate, or drag, or also some triggers for website, and also triggers for sensors. So in this case, I need to choose the tab. So this is the trigger. And who is the object of this tab trigger? It should be the rectangle. So that's why I go to the property panel and change it to rectangle 1. Okay, so this trigger and the object, when we want to add it, we just need to click the plus button below it, below the trigger, and then you can see the whole responses. So you can move a layer or make a layer rotate, 3D rotate, or change its color, or add a shadow, or also you can jump to another page. So use the jump, you can connect a lot of pages, or you can open a link, or you can show a text, or start play, or a media like video or sound. So there are a lot of responses you can choose here. And in this case, we want it to move, right? So that's why I will choose move. And the object, this time I want to change it to the circle layer. And here you can give a position. So where you want this layer move to. Here just, it doesn't matter now, we just showcase it. I just input a layer, a number randomly, and then open the preview window. Here's my preview window. So now when I tap it, it will move. So that is one micro interactions we just finished. But this move, I don't like this easing, so I want to choose it to maybe another cubic Bezier number. So I can drag, give a different speed, and then I can see the preview. Let's see what will happen. It's still too slow. Let's say spring. So tap it, it will keep a spring. Okay, let me just use the default one. Okay, so this is only one simple interactions, but how about I want to add more, right? So I can give this layer like a 3D rotate and make it turn around, and the direction is in this way. How should I say it? In this way, and the pivot is the oranging. So what the oranging means, so when you select this layer and go to this layers property, not this interaction property, it's layers property, and then you will find oranging. So now the current oranging is in the middle, but actually the default oranging is on the corner, left corner. So if you leave it as default, it will rotate like this. Let me give you slow speed. Can you see some different? When it's rotate, it will rotate around the left corner. But actually here, what we want, I want it to rotate around the the center of my layer. So that's why I changed the oranging. And then let's check the difference. Still speed, I gave a slow one. Yeah, so this is the interaction what I want. And then I will give it back to the original speed. So with this feature, you can check the details, this speed feature. And of course, you can add more interactions for other layers. So you can say when this circle moved up, you want this rectangle size be bigger as my whole screen size. So whole screen size here is 4148996, and then it will work like this. But same, when its size changed, you want it will change. It be bigger from this corner, the top corner. So that's why I need to add another interactions move and move this layer to the 0, 0 position. So left corner is 0, 0 and 0, 0. So here you are. So this is we finish basic interactions together with our ProtoPie conceptual model. If you need more interactions, like say different triggers like drag or pinch, you can just keep adding them here. So when I drag it, I want this start moving, then drag it start moving, and tap, it will go up. So yeah, so this is our conceptual model. I think it's very easy to understand, right? Do you have any questions about our conceptual model?
This thing is awesome.
Yeah, cool, thank you. Yeah, so this is our Lego pieces, and now you guys is just play with our Lego pieces, what kind of interactions you want. And next one we want to learn, this is a very basic one, but if I have a design assets in your Figma or Sketch, so you can just replace the simple layers to the real design. And here, as you can see, the interactions, I use the same one. So when I tap this card, it will move, and I also give a steady rotate. And at the same time, I want other layers will disappear. So that's why I gave them opacity and set it to 0. And then after whole interactions finish, I want this jump to my next scene. So that's why I give it a jump. And then I drag this timeline to set it when I want this happen. So I give the start delay 1 second. So that means whole things, other interactions finish, then I will jump to the next page. So yeah, so that is how I made it. And the logic of these interactions we already learned with our simple example. The only difference is I just use the real design. Okay, so now what we will learn, the second one we will learn is scroll page and paging, dual paging. So actually this one is very basic interactions. I think you can also make that happen in Figma or in Sketch with some plugin. And in ProtoPie, because this one is very basic one, so I want to mention is how to make it. I already made it before. Let me delete it and start from beginning. So here I have a lot of cards, but however, I can't see all of them. That's why I need a scroll. To make that, I just need to add a scroll container. In ProtoPie, we have a layer called this container, and you don't need to understand what they are because it's not for beginners. It's for our advanced workshop. And you just need to remember if you want to make some layers scroll or start paging, choose start scroll container here. And then you can see a layer. Next one you should do is resize it. And then put the whole layers you want to scroll into this container. And of course, this icon, it should on the top. If not, when I scroll it, the layers will cover this icon. I don't want that to happen, so that's why I put the container below the icon. And then, as you can see here, I can start scrolling those cards. So now maybe you have a question is, how should I know which size should I set this container to? So as you can see here, this container size is the same as your touchable area. So let's say you only want users they scroll your card when they touch those small area, then you just change the container size like this. And then as you can see here, I can't scroll these layers for when I tap bottom, but I can only scroll them on the top when I swipe the cards on the top area, right? And sometimes maybe on the one scene you want to scroll two different areas. For example, like now we have two containers, so that means you can scroll them separately. So that's why you should know the size of your container, how big it should be. But this one is totally depend on your design intention. Here, what we want to do, just we want this part, the whole screen should be the touchable area. So this one is a scroll container. And another one is paging container. So let's see what's the difference. In this case, I don't need to import another paging container. I just need to select this container and go to property panel. Here, I can just change the property of this scroll container to paging container here. And then change the direction. And now let's see what will happen here. Let me change the size to small one. So the paging container size is same. If you want to page in two cards at once, you just set its size with as same as two cards, like here from the top and onto the second card. And then it will, every time when you scroll it, it will pass two cards. But if you set it as one card height, and then it will, every time it will scroll one by one, pass cards one by one. So yeah, so this is paging. So for paging interactions, that means every time you will pass page one by one, but for scroll, it will scroll. It depends on how fast you swipe your scroll container. Okay, so this is what we learned, and the interactions are still here, right? But I can still scroll it and jump to the second scene. And here I'd like to give you a tips by this one. So here we have a back button. When I tap it, I want it to go back. However, this icon size is too small. It's not easy to touch for users. So in this case, I can check this one, touch area. So that means I can extend the touchable area and give it maybe 10 pixels. So it's easier for users to touch it. And second tips is for the jump. So when I tap this back button, I want it to jump back to my second scene. But here, I check this one, reset the selected scene. So what this feature is for? Let's see if I don't check it. When I jump from scene 2 to scene 3, and then when I jump back, as you can see, this layer, the second card, will stay at the final state, right? But this one is not what I really want. When I jump back, I want it still show me the whole card list. So that's why when I click this back icon, when I use this jump response, I check this reset. So that's why you can see when I go back, it's still show me the whole list. Okay. So here again, what we learned here is we learned how to make a scrolling and paging, and also we learned two tips. One is extend your touchable area, another one is jump. Okay, so next one what we'll learn is typing. So how there are a lot of type interactions when we make application interactions. To make that happen, first I want to import my design assets. So I prepared a sketch. Sorry guys, I didn't know you used a Figma, so I just prepared a sketch file. And now we want to import this one, login. So we want to make sign up interactions, typing your name, typing your password. So here first we want to check the size of your page. So the artboard in my sketch is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And in ProtoPie, we are using same one. So what we need to do is we don't need to change size. We just add a new scene and then click the import here. So if you use Figma, you just choose Figma. Here I will choose Sketch. And no matter which tool you choose, you will see a same import window. And here, choose which artboard you want to import. So currently, ProtoPie support input artboard one by one, but in the new feature, we will support import multiple artboard at the same time. And here we will learn, choose the login. So this is the artboard I want to input, import. Yeah, it's quite fast, right? So now the whole design are here and the structure is same and the design is same. And now what we need to do, just add interactions. We don't need to change my design. To make typing interactions in ProtoPie, guys, you should focus on here. Pay attention because it's very easy. Only in 3 seconds. Done. So now I can start typing. Did you see that? Did you see what did I do?
Magic.
Magic. Maybe it's too fast. Let me try again, guys. So go to the text corner, choose the text, and choose the input layer. That's all. And then you can start typing. So no matter which language you are using, what kind of keyboard you are using, no matter you are using your desktop or a template or your smartphone, no matter it's iPhone or Android, you can just use a native keyboard. Okay, so this actually we already learned this feature. That's all. But of course, because you guys are, yeah.
So in the prototype, will it carry the input field to the next screen or next artboard if you wanted it to, or is that too advanced?
Sorry, again, I don't understand your question.
So if I type my name into the input field there,
yeah.
Prototype, will I see it, or is there a capability to see it in the next screen, or is that a little bit beyond us?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, it's possible in ProtoPie, and with that, you need to use formula. It's an advanced feature. So formula and variable. I don't know how do you familiar with this variable or formula. And so what you need to do just after you type your name, and then your name will be saved in this variable, and you can use the variable, the value saved in your variable for other scenes, other pages. So the answer is possible, but we won't learn it today.
That's fine. I was just curious, but that's cool. Is it more like is it like an Excel language or a coding language for those variables?
So actually is not any kind of coding language. It's just like let me show you because you asked this one. So this is our document about what kind of variables we support. So how should I explain? It's not any kind of languages. It's just a basic variable. So you can use, for example, you can import you can use your layers property. So the case you ask is actually you can use this one. Input layers, the contents because you want to reuse the contents in your input layer, so you can use this variable.
Yeah,
Cool.
to answer your question, it's not a full-blown programming language, but there are similarities with how you can use certain functions in Excel or Google Sheets. So it's,
That makes sense.
yeah, it's pretty basic, yeah, in that
Yeah.
sense.
They are not coding language, yeah. Okay, so the interaction part is finished, but however, the design is, I'm not satisfied with my design. So what I want to do here is change the property of this input layer. So go to the property panel, and I can choose the placeholder. So placeholder currently is input, right? So when I start typing, the placeholder will disappear. So that's why we call this placeholder, but it can give users a hint what kind of information I can tap here. So let me change it to name. And then also I don't want to give it a field, so just cancel it, and also the border. Okay, so now its design seems pretty good. And next one is the password. Saying I want to change the placeholder to the password. However, the things is when I tap name, of course, I want to show my name. But when I tap my password, I don't want to show what I'm typing here. So to make that happen, you just need to change the keypad type here. So choose it to the text password. So that means when you cursor focus into this input layer, this keyboard will show you a text keyboard, but you can't see what I'm typing here. So those interactions, you don't need to make it by yourself manually. The whole thing, just based on how you set it up, and ProtoPie will do for you. Okay, so, and last interactions I want to make is, here is a sign up button. And give its name, sign up. Sign up. And choose the color to white. And then, okay. So last one, what I want to do is, after I type in my password, I want this button's background color change to another one to tell users, okay, now you can jump to next page. So please click this button. So to make this happen, let's think about what the trigger it should be, right? So the trigger is when I tap this go button. So in the desktop is an enter key, but on your phone, it should be this, this button. Actually, this button, you can change it not to go. You can change it to the next, or change it to search, or change it to done. It totally depends on your situation of your page. So, but here, let's say next, maybe. So now when I tap the next, I want this button to change color. So the trigger here, I need to choose is return. Return this one. So this return, that means return key. So when you tap your return key for the input layer, and then I want this, the rectangle layer's color change. So the response is color. And the object is rectangle 1. And color, let me see. Let's see this color. Yeah. So now when I tap my name and the password, and when I tap the next, when I tap my enter key, because now this on your preview window, this keyboard is a fake, but on your real smartphone, this key will work. But now it doesn't work, so I need to tap my enter key, and then this layer will change the color. So this when you use the typing interactions, you can make more effect with return this trigger. And also another interactions what you can make is, let's see, after I input my name. For users, I don't want, I tap this password. I just want to say when I tap my enter key, I want this cursor could move to the password automatically. So it's the UX is better than I tap it, right? So to make that happen, same, the trigger is return. So but this time the object is a first input layer. So when I tap enter key for my name, and then I want a cursor focus into the password, my second layer. So the response here is focus, and then it should be focus in. So that's how to make this cursor shown to users. So see, Leah, and tap the enter key. Then cursor will move to second input layer automatically, and tap my password, and then tap my enter key again. Then this button will change color. Okay, so this is another feature we learned together is typing, and those interactions you can use with your input layer together. Okay, so the last one what we'll learn is camera. Before that, do you have any questions for the input layer? No?
I have one
let's-
very quickly. You know how
Yeah.
sometimes you're putting passwords and you can't actually see the actual letters, but then there's a little eye icon to the right that when you click on it, it would show you the text. Is there an easy way to prototype that as well?
That's impossible in ProtoPie currently. Good question. You know, it's not easy to answer impossible in a workshop, but yes, you get the point. Yeah, currently it's impossible, but actually we have a user request a poll. Maybe Fredo, you can share in our Zoom chat. So if you really need this feature, you can vote on our request page.
However, you can actually make it happen by putting together some interactions. Yeah, but there is not a built-in feature that does make the text visible or hide it. But you can actually make it happen with interactions.
Yeah, so you can make it happen with variables or some things, but not. It's possible, but not that easy as just input layer. Okay, so last one what we will make is camera. So here, let's see. But the problem is, one is the camera, this feature, it doesn't work. You can't preview it on our preview window because you have to use your smartphone. You have to open your smartphone camera. So let me show you first. Let me show you how to make it happen, and then I will just show you how it will, what it will be. But I can't give you a live demo now. Here is another artboard I prepared in Sketch, and here I want to make is when I jump to this step 2, this page, I want my whole screen to open my camera, and then I want to only this part. You should put your card in the middle one, in the middle area. So to make that happen first, I need to input my assets from a Sketch file and choose scan card this time. Yeah, and here you are. Now I want to open my camera, right? So to make that happen, same, just one step, add a camera layer. And that's all. And put this to the bottom because I want those layers as a dim layer above it. As I mentioned before, it doesn't work on my preview window. I need to send it to my ProtoPie player and test it on my phone. But now, because I can't show my phone to you guys, so I just recorded what it should be. Before that, one thing I missed is because when I jump to step 2, I want this layer, this camera opened automatically. So I need to check here. Select the camera layer and go to the property panel and check auto start. And then this camera will start working automatically. And how the effect should be is this one. So when I tap it, when I send it to my ProtoPie player, as you can see here, the whole screen will showing as a camera, and then it will start scan. But of course, it's not a real scanning interaction. It's just show you what you want to do on this page for your developers. Okay, so that is a camera layer, and same as input layer. So there are also some interactions you can use for your camera layer. For example, let me add a new one. Let's say there a button. When you tap this button, you wanna open this camera, or you wanna take a picture. So you add a tab to this layer button, and then the response is camera. So when you choose the camera, the object could only be the camera layers. Currently, because I only have one camera layer, that's why I only have one choice. And then the actions could be start or stop. If you choose stop, that means you want to take a picture. If you choose the start, that means this camera will open your camera. And also you can choose, when I open my camera, which camera I want it to use. It's front one or rear one. Or you can switch your camera from the front to rear, or from the rear to front. Okay, so that's the interactions related to camera you can use, the camera response. And that's the whole thing we learned today, and let's review it. So first we learned how to use a keyboard. Yeah, first one we learned how to use keyboard, just insert a input layer. And then we also learned how to do paging and the scrolling, just with a container, paging container or scroll container, put the whole images you want to scroll into the container. And then we learned how to make a camera. So as you can see here, you can tap this icon to switch. You can switch your camera, or you can take a picture or open your camera. Yeah, so this is what we learned today for beginning workshop. And actually we have more advanced features. For example, logical interactions. So in this demo we are showing is based on which category I'm choosing here, the difference music will be turned on. So that's, you can, in ProtoPie, you can make these interactions with condition or range, those feature triggers. Yeah, and also ProtoPie support formulas, as I mentioned before. So in this demo, we are using touch X, touch Y, because there is a LOT file. So this effect is a LOT file, and no matter which place I tap, this LOT file will move to that place. That's my finger just tapped and then start play. So the formula I used here is touch X and touch Y. And there are a ton of formulas we support. Here, I just give you three simple examples. This one is keyboard height. So when I start typing, my keyboard will show to users, but at the same time, I want that my chat window should go up. So based on that, I need to know my keyboard is how the height of it. So based on, because we don't know what kind of handphone, smartphone they are using. So that's why I used this keyboard height. And also that's why that's one is someone who you just asked. Here I can tap my name, Leah, and then I can remember what I tapped here and show it hi Carol or hi Leah. And of course, I can also reuse this my name to the next page, all are possible. And the formula I used here is input layers text. So what contents, what the characters I tapped here, I can know with this formula. So combine the logical interactions and the formula. Actually, you can even make games like this. This was made by our users. And this demo is showing the interaction happened between two different screens. So when I when I tap a button on another phone, it will start play the ding, this sounds. So these interactions between two screens. So with this feature, what you can do is you can make games. So here on the mobile is a prototype made by ProtoPie, and on the iPad is also a prototype made by ProtoPie. But we use the send and the receive, those two pieces, interaction pieces, to send a message to another device. And when that device receives my message, it will start moving. So go forward or jump, those kind of interactions. And also, as I mentioned, ProtoPie support interactions between hardware and software. So you can use it for, you can connect your ProtoPie with your Arduino, or also your real sensors in your smart car or other IoT device. So maybe you will ask why we should test interactions with hardware. So in what kind of situations designers need to use ProtoPie? So here I want to give you an example. Here, when I turn my button, first as a designer, I need to know which angle when I turn. Then I wanna this menu change to the next one. So maybe when I turn the 30 degrees and then it's jump to the next one, or when I turn more or turn little. So those things you can't know before you test it because it's hardware, right? So, but now with ProtoPie, this part is prototype made in ProtoPie, and this is Arduino, and then you can connect them together and the test it happen. And another one you can test is the visual. So for example, now when you change the menu, the background, the yellow one, background layer is just a move, how to say, like a drop down. However, the second demo I made here is, you can see it's moved smoothly than the first one. So with this feature for hardware designers, they can do more things before develop teams start develop the hardware. as you know, in the smart IoT industry, is if you want to text something after, if you want to change something after you already develop it, it will cost how say is a money. It's just a waste of money, right? So that's why our designers want to test their ideas before developers developing those interactions. Okay, so that's the whole thing we learned today. We had a beginning workshop, and also I gave you a demo for advanced features. If you have any questions, you can ask me or Fredo.
Leah, thank you so much. This is super awesome. Thanks, Fredo, as well. Guys, do you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, feedbacks, anything for awesome ProtoPie team?
Hey, this was really cool. Really, really cool. Definitely excited to use it.
There's a lot to take in for sure.
Thank you so much.
It was really cool. Wow.
Wonderful. So we have the ProtoPie. Thank you, ProtoPie, team, for giving us free lessons. And yeah, and I think I already shared your, Fredo, the links you shared on our Slack channel. So
Awesome.
hopefully you will see my students there very soon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to have you in our community. And yeah, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask us.
Awesome. And stay safe.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.
Thank you.